Hey, and welcome to MECUM in the Morning here at MECUM Harrisburg. I'm Matt Avery, and it's so
Yay!
good to have you back, Laurette.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm Laurette Nicoll, and I have missed you guys. It's been a little bit. I've been traveling. I've had some work that I had to do, and I am so back. I am so back. I am so happy to be back and be sat in this seat with you. And we were just talking about the last time I saw everyone, and we'll revisit what I think that was. I think it was in Arizona.
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah, we'll get it
We'll
figured
get
out.
it figured out. But what we do know is that we are here for day 2 of MECUM Harrisburg here at the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex, Laurette. And as we say at the top of every show, each day just gets bigger and better. The auction kicked off yesterday, and of course this is day 2. And as we get closer into the weekend, the action is going to get more and more intense.
Oh my gosh, but can I just talk about the fans that are here for MECUM? So when we rolled up at 7:30ish, there was already a line out the door, and these fans here in Harrisburg and Pennsylvania wide are so enthusiastic. They're so knowledgeable, and they're here right at the beginning of the day. They're lining up, and they're here at the end of the night. So this is fun. It's a different energy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, Laurette. And of course, we love our fans across the country, wherever we go. There's so many passionate people that love the energy of MECUM auctions. Although there's just something a little bit unique about the Harrisburg auction, because I wanted to point it out to you as we came in, just because it really is something special about the fans here in the Pennsylvania area. They are here lined up outside the door. They are revving. They are pulling against the reins to get in, and it really is something that's talked about. Earlier this week, I did an interview with WGAL, the local news station. They were asking about it. They were saying, "What's the cause?" And I said, "All I know is that there's some passionate fan base here in the Northeast." And I should also point out that what makes Harrisburg unique is the proximity to so many enthusiasts. Within just a couple-hour drive, Laurette, you've got all the major metropolitans: DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York. All of that is an easy drive for people to come out and join us.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And I was thinking maybe it was because it was close to we are the state capital, and there's so much automotive and industrial history here. But yeah, this is cool. I'm really excited to get into this Pennsylvania weekend.
And I should also say that today's morning show has a very distinct theme. And also, I'm glad DC came up, because obviously this year has been a big milestone for America, for the United States. 250 years since the signing of the Declaration. You wore the appropriate attire.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue.
I wanted to be on theme. Yep.
So you are on theme. So as we get into today's show, you're going to pick up on that's what this show is all about, is celebrating that anniversary, even through some of our storytelling. But of course, before we get there, let's dive into what's going to be happening on the auction block. Today, we've got 52 pieces of road art, Laurette. Perfect items to decorate your unique space, that garage, that basement. I mean, heck, even your living room, depends on how crazy you want to get, 267 great collector cars, trucks, and of course, motorcycles. And that also includes 7 carefully curated collections. Lots in the docket that's going to be up for sale to go home with a new owner.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait to get on the floor. I just arrived late last night, so I get to sit right here and get ready for the show. And so a little bit later, I'm gonna go walk the floor and see what's going on and what's gonna cross the auction block. And I think something that is also really cool is the event t-shirts that change place to place. And you're wearing our Harrisburg, Pennsylvania shirt, and the car that we have is the Saline Mustang with the Fox body. And so the Fox body, there's a lot of history here with Steve Saline. He's based out of Corona, California. This is iconic of the 80s and 90s. And I really love that this was able to be focused on the shirt. And so, again, with all the fandom that's here in Pennsylvania, I can't wait to see how this shirt works and starts, popping off the shelf and walking around the auction floor. So, no, it's going to be fun. And of course, if any of your best friends couldn't make it, you can at least get them a shirt or hat. Be like, hey, I was thinking about you. We have ladies and men's options out there. So yeah, lots of good stuff.
Yeah, all that's right next to our morning show set here at the MECUM shop. And like you said, all kinds of great pieces, including the event inclusive tee with that awesome fox body there. I love it. I love blue, Laurette. So I'm just excited. So I think some of my love for that color, I think Matt, who runs that shirt, the shop over there, probably heard me say. So I love it. Great piece, and like you said, it's a great opportunity to bring something home for people that can't. And of course, you can shop online. And Laurette, as we kind of talk about some big news here around MECUM auctions, we're also really excited to announce this is the first auction with a new sponsor. We are very excited to be partnering with Arturo Tires, the exclusive tire of MECUM auctions. And I actually had a chance last week to head out to their headquarters. It's located between Chicago and Milwaukee.
Okay.
Got to see their operation, and there's a lot more in store. And they're also here on site. So as people come out, they can find out more. Head over to the Arturo Tires trailer. It's impossible to miss. It's a very cool neon green color.
Oh, that's so cool. And I think it fits perfectly with MECUM, right? It not only with MECUM, but all the fan base that we have. And so you have tires for daily drivers, you have off-road and high performance. So it's a match that fits perfectly, I think.
Yeah, I was really surprised by checking out their lineup that they offer a full set. They have an AZ series is what they call it, which is like a street tire. But even though it's street oriented, you can still take it to the racetrack. You can drive it aggressively. It's set up for modern muscle cars, sports cars, and then their Trailblade series is an off-road series, and then they also have a drag radial. So I will say they've got a full suite of options for people that want some new rubber for their ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, so check that out. And also, I should say that of course we're fueled up with Fun Time Soda.
Yeah. So good.
So good.
We have it right here.
So good.
Yeah, and there's so many more flavors, and yeah, it's just a really cool partnership, and really happy that Rut could bring this to life, and he's so passionate about it. Rutledge Wood brought this, so I love it.
Yeah, and this one is on theme today, so double kudos points for us. So anyway, all right. Well, let's rewind. Let's look a little bit in the rearview mirror, because as you mentioned, we were just at Tulsa for a big auction there. And in case you missed it, here's some of what happened. Oklahoma was the place to be as MECUM Tulsa delivered another thrilling 2 days of auction action as the auction returned to the SageNet Center. Breeann and I explore the history of Jeep, tracing its roots back to the 1940s, with stops in the 1950s, 80s, and early 2000s. Along the way, I checked out a custom family hauler built for life on the open road, and even discovered how motorists stayed cool before air conditioning found its way into our cars. We also talked about the significance and impact of the Mother Road and how the iconic Route 66 turns 100 years this year. MECUM Tulsa was the perfect way to kick off the summer season, and with great vehicles, fascinating stories, and plenty of excitement throughout our time there, we're already looking forward to being back next year.
Matt, Tulsa looked like so much fun.
It was. I just want to know if the Golden Driller, I hope he wears that shirt all year round.
Okay, wait. So you have to explain a little bit, because I wasn't in Tulsa. So explain that big man.
Okay, sure. It's a large man
Yeah.
that's celebrating the drilling history there in Tulsa.
Oh.
So it's and I know there's a lot of history there in terms of when it was erected and what it symbolizes, but it's referred to as the Golden Driller. And it's right outside of the SageNet Center. And now it's kind of become tradition is that he'll rock a MECUM shirt. We'll
Love
put a
it.
graphic on top. But yeah, like I said, I hope he wears that all year long.
An event tee,
An event tee,
if
yeah.
you will.
You will.
Yeah.
But the other thing, Laurette, that made Tulsa special this year is we're talking about, obviously, the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. It's a big milestone for Route 66. With that marking 100 years since the Mother Road was established, and that runs right through Tulsa. So, of course, the theme there was on road trips and driving, because so many people are doing that this, particularly this summer, Laurette, they're going out to experience that Route 66, you know, going from Chicago to Santa Monica. So,
Wow, so much history and so much romanticism and lore, because when that highway system was built, it just opened up so much of the US. And so a lot of people starting in Chicago, they have that city life. And of course, they're prepared for extremely cold winters. And then you come out to the desert and you cross through Barstow, and it's just like an alien type of landscape. And that's so fun. And I'm really glad that you guys were able to cover that. And it's just, I guess for me, I have a Southwestern type of romance when I think about Route 66. So I love that you were able to focus on that. That's cool.
yeah, and you know, something else that we're seeing, Laurette, is that we are seeing a resurgence of interest in that kind of that analog experience in terms of, you know, taking the scenic route, stopping at the unusual sites. And we're seeing that, you know, with, you know, Alyssa's been working on a package of celebrating cars of the 40s and 50s and spotlighting some of those younger drivers that are seeking out those earlier cars. And a lot of them are wanting to have those kind of earlier experiences, again, where it's not about getting there the fastest way, it's about making the memories. And so I really do think that even as the 100th anniversary comes and goes, I think people are going to want to still do that, stop in the roadside stops, go to the gift shops, do the photo opportunities. So I'm kind of excited to see what's in store as more and more people experience that, because it's such an integral part of cruising here in America.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a really good indicator of how well you're going to get along with someone moving into the future if you road trip with them. And so I know we normally do this at the end of the show, but if you were going to take a road trip on Route 66, who would you go with? And who do you think that you could, because it's over 2,000, do you know the mileage? I don't know, but who could you take with you on this road trip for that long? Start
That's
to
good.
finish.
Yeah, that's good. That I didn't see,
funsies.
I didn't see that coming, Laurette. But
Yeah.
yes, yeah, no, yeah. Road trips are always made more fun, of course, by who you're with.
Yeah.
But as we talk a little bit more about obviously the celebration of our country, the summer July 4th was just around the corner, Laurette, and so of course I went out and found some rides that fit that spirit.
America celebrated a major milestone this year, marking 250 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And still feeling the July 4th mood, from MECUM Harrisburg, here's a trio of rides that proudly wear the red, white, and blue. Few events are more American than the Indianapolis 500. And in 1975, Buick had the honor of pacing the greatest spectacle in racing, with actor James Garner behind the wheel of the official pace car. To celebrate, Buick built roughly 1,800 commemorative pace car editions just like this one for the public. Each featured bold, patriotic graphics. And no, that's not an eagle, it's Buick's Free Spirit Hawk, a special emblem created to give the century a youthful, patriotic identity. Add in the removable T-top roof and blue and white interior, and it perfectly captured the spirit of the era. While that pace car was powered by a 455 cubic inch V8, the production run, like this one, were powered by a 350 cubic inch V8. This has had just one owner since new and looks just like it did decades ago, thanks to a frame-off restoration. The GTO is one of America's original muscle car legends, and this final year 1974 example looks sharp with these red, white, and blue graphics highlighted by the silver border. One of just 7,058 produced, it's finished in cameo white with a red bucket seat interior. It's just as clean underneath the hood, where you'll find the original numbers matching 350 cubic inch V8, and yep, that hood scoop is functional. And who says stealth black can't be patriotic? This 2026 Corvette ZR1 Stars and Stripes Edition was created specifically to commemorate America's 250th anniversary. Just 250 were built in total, with this being number 249, one of only 25 ZR1s produced and one of just 3 equipped with this wild carbon aero package. The design showcases the American flag with subtle Easter eggs celebrating that milestone anniversary, like on the rear spoiler and this door graphic. So here's to the next 250 America and to countless other All-American rides crossing the auction block.
Nice work, Matt. Yay. What a nice way to celebrate a big milestone birthday. And right before that package, we were talking about the Route 66 road trip. So it's 2,448 miles from coast to coast, even though the U.S. is 3,000 miles. So with those three, would you have chosen a car to do a Route 66
Yeah, you know,
trip?
I think I'd grab the keys to that C8. I mean, just a modern supercar. I mean, crossing into hypercar territory, those
Nice.
lines get really blurred just with the capability. And I really do love the fact that, you know, automakers like Chevrolet recognize those kind of milestones, do those special anniversary editions or special packages, because it really does add a lot to the experience of the brand, especially a storied brand like Chevrolet. I mean, you know, one of their marketing slogans from decades ago was "See the USA in your Chevrolet," right? They had that, you know, the jingle, and it was really about getting people out. So I love it that some of those, you know, the big three from Detroit recognize the anniversary and create packages like that. The Easter eggs are always fun. You know, we've kind of seen a continued rise in that over the last 10 years of automakers putting those little nods and fun things for owners to discover. Like the door graphic, you really do have to look hard. Alyssa and I, when we were shooting that, you know, it was challenging to light it, but that's what makes it special, right?
Yeah.
Is when you've got those subtle details, and and if you couldn't make it out, it said 1776 to 2026 there on the graphic, and that's just kind of the start of some of those fun things for owners to uncover.
Incredible. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Yeah, and you and Alyssa did an amazing job. And so the goddess that we talk about, Alyssa, she is our filmer, editor, producer of the show, does everything. So when you hear the name Alyssa, that's who we're talking about. And I'm assuming Alyssa and Bree worked on this next package, and Breeann Poland found her choice, which I'm excited to hear about.
We all know baseball is America's pastime, but what's more American than a fully decked out New York Yankees Ford Mustang convertible? There are 60 of these produced, and this is number 43. This white 2005 Ford Mustang convertible comes equipped with Yankee pinstripes and logos. You can even catch some of the Yankee players' signatures on the hood. Power-operated black convertible top, black interior. Take me out to the ball game in this ride.
Oh, Bree, that was so cute. Okay, listen. So I love Ford Mustangs. This has always been my car forever and ever. But I'm from New Hampshire, which means that I'm from New England, and I am a Boston Red Sox fan. So I'm in two minds about this Yankees Mustang. Listen, we're just going to move on. I'm a Boston Red Sox fan, but the car is really cool. And I just needed to say it in case any of my friends from Boston were watching and they were like, Laurette can't talk nice about the Yankees, because I cannot. It's in my blood.
Yeah. Well, and of course, you know, I don't think there's anything more American than apple pie in baseball, right? So
For sure.
when I saw the special edition Mustangs, like that has to be included in this themed morning show, only because those two go hand in hand. Again, you know, talking about storied brands, storied pastimes. And also, I mean, Mustang has a long-standing history of doing special anniversaries, going all the way back to the first year it debuted in 1964. I mean, so it's not surprising that you'll find something like this where you find overlap between an iconic pony car like the Mustang, and then here's the special edition with having tons of signatures.
Yeah.
It's really the perfect piece for someone that loves baseball, loves the Yankees, and yeah, I just take it out to the ball game is what I say.
Take it out to the ball game. You and Bree both watching the Yankees, and I'll be at Fenway cheering on my Red Sox. But I love, again, this Americana theme, and talking about that, the 40s and 50s cars that you were just talking about.
Yeah, you know, it's so much of the collector car hobby centers around, you know, just decades of history here in the States and driving and getting out. And there's so many things that are inherently red, white, and blue. You know, again, whether it be the actual colors of the car in that first package, whether it be the style of car, you know, like the GTO in that first package. By all accounts, as Alyssa said yesterday, the OG of muscle cars. You know, that's what a lot of people attribute as kicking off this craze to the pony car like Mustang. Custom cars, that was another option I was thinking about for the show. But when you talk about what's more American when it comes to motoring, I think of the early cars, the 40s and 50s, Woodies in particular. All of that just screams Southern California, you know, and music and culture and so much of what we love about, you know, these great vehicles.
Yep.
And, you know, something that's been in the works for a long time, Laurette, for months, I should say, is a special package that, as you mentioned, our show producer here on Meek in the Morning, Alyssa Bridges, has been working hard at, is documenting and showcasing and bringing to light what makes these cars so special. This has been months in the works. It's actually, we're going to show a snippet of a larger piece. We'll talk about that when we come back. But here's a little bit of Woodies out on the coast.
This is a 1931 Model A Ford 150B station wagon. It was all in pieces. Most of the wood I thought was firewood. Took a lot of work trying to do the research to figure out how to put it back together again. I had never seen one up close before I found this one. It took me about 3 years to put it together and to where you see it now. Henry Ford started making Woody station wagons in 1928. They only made about 8 or 10 of them at that time, but that gave everybody an idea of what they were going to be looking like. Henry Ford ended up having tons of maple trees back behind his factory, and that's where he got the idea to use that maple to build Woody station wagons, to go back and forth to the train stations to pick up people and take them out to whatever ranch or hotel or estate that they were going to. Someone was saying a while ago about this one being boxy. There was a cartoon. Well, that's a really nice looking Ford wagon. When are you going to take it out of the box? Because the whole back half looks like it was still in the crate.
I'm Greg Chandler, and this is my 1940 Ford Deluxe station wagon. You know, they've graduated in styling from the box frames that they started as, and the front end started to get more interest and more design. With the Art Deco design and the lines starting to go horizontal instead of verticals. If you look at the dashboard, you'll see the Art Deco influences on that as well. It's all wood still inside with a canvas cover over the top. The biggest change in the design in the years that follow would be that widening of the body that gives you more room for more motor, more room for more people, but you lose the sleek, pointed nose that makes this car so beautiful. My wife and I are thrilled to be a little more cramped when we drive it to have this era of car.
We interrupted production for World War II, later resuming in late 1945.
This is a 1948 Ford Super Deluxe was the name of the car. And it's a continuation of a car that before the war, this is a post-war car, they dropped it during the war. And when they brought it back, this is the style of the car. They widened them out starting in 42, and the fenders kind of flow out a little bit more from the hood. This is the last year in 48 that the wood doors are 100% wood. Other than the metal and glass that they have to, it's all wood. So it's one of the reasons I bought the car. I've just finished putting 3 coats of varnish on it myself, 25 hours of sanding. Like a Chris Craft boat, you got to take care of them. This car is just so much fun to have and to be able to drive and hang out with my buddies in the Woody Club.
And this is a 51 Ford Woody. This was the last year that Ford manufactured a structural Woody. The subsequent year was just a solid station wagon with faux molding, but this was the actual last Ford. The sides on this car are rounded, and that was a result of Ford learning how to laminate and bend wood. That infatuation with rockets, started incorporating designs like these bullet noses on the grill. The steel additionally made it a much safer car. Originally they were like the most expensive automobile, but then after about 5-7 years, because of the high maintenance of the wood, they quickly became the cheapest thing available.
So when I was a kid back in the 60s, I remember my buddies' older brothers were buying Woodies for $150, $100. Very interesting car. If you look closely, it's like an elaborate cabinet. They're pieces of art.
Wow. So much integrity to all the cars. Like all of the details, all of the wood, Ford learning how to manipulate wood and bending it. I love learning about the history, and it was really cool that that gentleman also said it's like taking care of a Chris Craft boat, which Alyssa also did a really phenomenal piece on a couple of months ago. So I love seeing the correlation.
Yeah, I mean, Bill's 51 is like my perfect spec of Woody,
Wow.
by the way. Just a fun fact, as I was watching, I was like, man, Bill, you got a sweet ride there. But just such a fond part of car culture, Laurette. Again, Southern California, coastal vibes, surfing, music. And we're starting to see those cars come back in popularity. It's awesome to see that. And it's also worth noting that, again, as I mentioned, that is just a small portion of a larger feature that's going to be airing for the first time on Saturday across all of MECUM streaming on Amazon and Roku. Cars of the 40s and 50s. Alyssa is the producer of that piece, and it spotlights that era of cars and kind of what's going on in the culture and kind of what's ahead. So I'm excited to tune in and see that. And as we wrap up here at the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex, Laurette, so much is in store. Laurette already threw out the comment. Let us know your road trip, buddy. Let us know. We'll have to give that some thoughts. And also, I should say that we're also very excited to welcome Wildfire Lifts to the MECUM Auctions sponsors. They are here on site, and I should also note that on Saturday, Derek Berry of Vice Grip Garage will be coming in for an autograph session. We'll be hanging out with him a little bit. So come on out, join us. Lots in store today. We hope to see you here. And of course, we're going to be back tomorrow, Laurette, aren't we?
We sure are. Same place, same time. More exciting packages that we're going to put together today that we're going to show you tomorrow. So yeah, we're going to get into some of the cars that are going to be crossing up the auction block, telling you stories about them. And
we are. And tomorrow's theme has a European vibe. So maybe some baklava would be appropriate.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But we're going to be looking at some very cool German-tuned sports cars. But come on out and see us here today. And until then, we'll see you tomorrow for more MECUM in the Morning.